right, good morning YouTube. Today I will be going over my first impressions, my first shots, and my first thoughts on the M16 that I built up. If you haven't seen the video, watch the video. It's a two-part. Built that M16. I say built, right? It's not like I have like a fucking machine to forge uppers and lowers, but I did piece together out of a lot of surplus a M16-ish type rifle, right? We have it set up today with the Yankee Hill Manufacturing Resonator R2, good suppressor. It's got the Phantom QD, and we have the flash hider, Phantom QD flash hider, right? Overall, very cool looking weapon. Got the EOTech 512, not very time period correct, but I mean, it looks pretty badass, doesn't it? So the first thing I'm gonna say is, holy crap, this thing is gassy. Apparently Delton cuts their gas ports a little bit on the gassy side, which is good, right? I'd rather it be overgassed than undergassed. This is just a standard rifle length gas tube, but I guess it happens to run overgassed from the factory, and then you throw this can on there and there's plenty of back pressure. After about 20 rounds, I had like tears in my eyes, right? And not like tears of pain or joy, but just like when you're cutting onions. It's just sending so much gas right out this little charging port hole or charging handle around there. And it's sending all that gas directly into your shooting eye. It is kind of terrible to shoot. It's recoilless, right? There is zero recoil on this. I mean, within reason, but I would say it's comparable to the MP5, which is world renowned for having nothing, right? The gun is fairly heavy. I haven't put it on the scale, but I'd say it's probably 8 or 9 pounds unloaded, which for a 5.56 is kind of insane. I did have a hiccup early on. The binary has been sitting for a while, and the previous CLP I had put in there kind of gummed up. So I did have to break it open, spray some CLP in there, and then after that it ran flawlessly. Terrifically fun to shoot. Kind of slow. The binary gets a little bit hiccuped just because it takes a long time for the gas to travel and a long time for the bolt to travel. So that fire rate's low, and it doesn't lend itself for, you know, an easy rhythm to pick up with the binary. If you've shot the binary, that's how they are. But I don't use the binary very often anyway. Ammo's expensive, right? We're just mostly shooting on semi-automatic. It functioned, right? That's the biggest thing, right? It fired all the rounds. There were no failures to eject, no failures to extract, no failures to fire. Just a lot of gas. I think I will be removing not only the can, but also this muzzle device, and I will be putting it back on my 11.5 upper, just because it's a lot more useful on there, and I don't really need to run this suppressed. I'm not exactly clearing rooms with a 20-inch barrel, and with that 10 inches of suppressor, it's almost a 30-inch barrel. Like, that's insane, right? So not the most tactical of firearms, but in terms of something to shoot at the range, I went with my buddies from work. They all seemed to like it. Nobody disliked the M16. And then for reference, I also had a 16-inch barreled AR. This is just kind of a homunculus, right? This is a bunch of different stuff. I think it's an arrow upper, arrow barrel, Knights Armament quad rail, EOTech 512, because they're fantastic, and some other features. I got some time in on the T-mags. They functioned flawlessly, as you would expect. This rifle functioned flawlessly. I've never had issues with it. I got it from a friend of mine probably 2 years ago for a pretty good price, and I've put a lot of rounds through it. Definitely slightly jumpier, but I think it runs a lot better suppressed, in my opinion. I was running the R45 on here. It was terrific. Note to the audience, do not put your barrel on your Pelican case. And rip to my buddy, you know who you are. Sorry about your Pelican case. It got a little bit melted, as you know. But yeah, to my YouTube audience, yeah, if you put 5 or 6 mags through an AR and set the barrel on a Pelican case, it'll melt straight through. So Pelican, maybe get on that. Maybe get us some, like, you know, thermal resistant plastic. in the case like $1 billion, you'd expect me to be able to set something hot on there, right? But I don't know. That's kind of a joke. I'll have to clean that off with a wire brush and maybe like heat it up or something. But it was quite gooey originally. Now it is dried on there. So silly. I think that after building the 20-inch, the 16 is terrific, right? We had a 10.5 out there. My buddy had one, and it was just ridiculously loud. And this isn't like trying to shit on it. He has a cool AR setup, right? It's a 10.5 Aero build with a custom Cerakote, right? It's a nice little handgun, right? But it's just standing next to that is awful, and standing behind it is less awful. But it's just so loud and just so much concussion off of it. I'd like to do a video in the future, but you know, there really is an argument for a 16. Everyone wants an AR pistol these days, but this is a pretty compact little package, honestly. You know, you don't have to mess with fucking braces. Fuck braces, right? You can put a vertical foregrip on there and you don't have to worry about the fucking, oh, is it 87 degrees? No, it's fucking 90, right? This fucking cat grip. But that's not what this is about. In the future, I'll be doing 20 versus 11.5 versus 16. But just for comparison, the 16 or the 20, smoother, gassier, and definitely perhaps vibier. Thanks for watching, and I will keep you updated. Time to clean.